this is Dave Check over at Home Roots Farm. Just putting together the first of DIY videos for you guys. And this is our seedling room. We had set up, my wife is doing all kind of growing of flowers and vegetables and things like that. So at the moment we have these germination tables. I'll sometime show you how I built those. And I'm going to show you how I'm putting together these lights, because grow lights are crazy expensive. So I wanted to show you a good way to get a similar amount of light for at least somewhat reasonable price. So first I go and get a bunch of these really awesome looking fluorescent light fixtures like this. And first step is to take them apart as much as you need to. So get this part out of here. This part I just don't use. So take that out, take out awesome broken bulbs. Put that one in the trash. At the moment I'm saving these bulbs. I might have use for them later, but at the moment I don't use them. So just taking these bulbs out. Save these for later. Maybe I'll sell them to somebody. I don't know what I'm going to do with them right now.
There's a really strong glare. You might want to bring it over there to see it better, what it looks like. There you go. Yeah, there you go.
Okay, hopefully you can see it better now.
Yes.
Okay, get the rest of the bulbs out of there. I hate it when people go through a long video and show you stupid things. So I'm not trying to take a long time to do this. I tried to set it up so it's pretty easy. Take out the extra reflector part. Now you got these ballasts in here. Don't need them with these cool LEDs, so bye-bye ballasts. And usually they just have one screw holding them in. Take that screw out. And then you can pry these little end pieces out that are just holding onto the little things that fluorescent bulbs go into, the fluorescent socket. So just take those out of both ends. Sometimes you can sell these ballasts, but it's not necessarily worth it at the moment. So that's basically the process of disassembling it. I've also been taking the end off because the rack that I made is not exactly the right size to fit one this big. So I got to take one end off and cut a little piece off. I'll show you that later when I'm mounting one. So here's one that I already went through that disassembly process. I'm going to show you how I mount these LED bulbs in there. So these are the LED bulbs I'm getting. These 2-foot ones. They're 18 or 20 watts. All the ones I got happen to be 20 watts. Looks like this when it's out of the package. And it comes with a little wire like this and a connector thing. So this wire can go in the end there. I'll show you that when I'm getting to the wiring phase. So the next step in the process is to go ahead and mount these in there. As you can see, I already mounted a couple of them in there. And it's a pretty easy process with these self-tapping screws. So I just get the shortest self-tapping screws I can get. And it comes with these little mounting brackets. So just put that with the little wrench there. And then don't put it too close to the end. So it needs to be pretty flexible because they have to line up fairly well. They don't have to be exact, but with the self-tapping screw, you don't have to drill a hole first. Just screw it in there. Don't screw it too tight. You want it to be able to move a little bit. So you put in 2 of these per bulb that's going in there, or per each one of these fixtures that's going in. They got to be lined up fairly well. Not exact, but you can just line it up so it goes right along these lines. Most of these fluorescent fixtures are going to have some kind of lines that you can line up with on there. So you just do that with it, and then you take the fixture itself, and you can see it's got the connectors on both ends. That's one end, and the other end looks exactly the same. They have this little protective film on there. Take that off, get rid of that later. And you just have to get that to snap into the little things right there. just like that. Now what I've been doing, I'll just show you on this other one that I already put in. But I go ahead and put that in there. Then I put the little connector thing like this that goes in between. You can see it right here on this one. So if you can see that right there, that's the connector to connect these two ends together. And then you slide them together. And this is the part where you got to make sure these brackets are far enough apart so there's a little flex in there, so these can just connect together like that. There you go. And we'll do that to that one later, but that's not an important point right now. I want to go to show you some more things that are more important first, and then we can show you the finished product in a couple minutes. So the main point of having this fixture thing is to have the reflection so the light goes down onto the plants. Otherwise, that light just goes everywhere and wastes a bunch of lighting and power and all that kind of stuff. LED lights are efficient, so these will have 80 watts of light in there, which will put out about 2,000 lumens per, so about 8,000 lumens inside this little fixture, which is way more than you're going to get those fluorescent lights. Even though you had 4 bulbs or 4 fluorescent lights that were 34 watts each, this puts out about 4 times as much light, which is way better for the plants. So to hang these, I'll show you what we're hanging them on later, but I go ahead and put a couple of these wood blocks in here. You probably could screw the thing just to the metal, but I didn't trust that enough. These things aren't that heavy, but I go ahead and put in a wood block here, and to do that, I just drill a couple of holes in the metal and screw right into the wood, and then into that wood block I'm going to screw in one of these screw eyes. So I drill this one already had a hole right there, so I didn't have to drill this, but you can just screw that right in there, and away it goes. Screws in pretty easy if you drill the hole the right size. So that's almost the finished product. Now I put another one of these blocks on this end so it looks the same as this. And I'd have to put the other bulb right there. But let's just show you the wiring really fast, and then I want to show you what they look like when they're all put together. So here's the wiring harness that comes with them. So I'll go ahead and use 2 inside each fixture. So I put one for the set of 2 bulbs that'll go there, one for the set that'll go here. You could do some kind of like rigging around the other end if you wanted to make it only have one connection, but I figured might as well just put them both on this end. So I put one on this set, one on this set on this end, and you just have to plug it into here. And then on these particular ones, they have 3 wires in there. The blue and the brown happen to be the ones that need to be active for this. So you'll just take this thing, plug it into the end of the fixture just like this, and then you run the wire through here and you connect it up to that. Now let's go look at what these look like when they're finished. So here you can see the back side where I put that screw eye and the little block right there that it connects to. And I'm going to go ahead and lift this up a little bit so you can look underneath it. So you see under there, probably the light's going to make it a little hard to see, but you can see the wiring is, actually the wiring's on the other end, but you can see what it looks like inside. Crazy amount of light. And the reason for these screw eyes and all this rope stuff is because you should have the light really close to the plants to get the most light to the plants. Now if you can, go ahead and take a look at this other end of the thing, and you can see what the wire looks like inside of there. See the wiring? Now that's just rigged in there for right now. I'll attach it up to that wood block later, but having the wood block there is a handy thing to attach it to for me to be able to screw that in later and make it secured. That's enough for now. We'll come back later. To raise this up and down,
as the plants grow.
so once the plants get taller, then I have this rope here, so we can just pull up on the rope, and it's not, you don't need to do this all the time, so you don't need it to be super smooth, but you can raise it up just like that, so when you get a plant that tall, it's not running into the light. You wouldn't want that. You want some crazy old bent plant? Come on, nobody wants a bent plant. All right, so we lower it back down, and yeah, it's not the smoothest lowering thing, but you know what? It didn't cost it $300 for this light either.
So what does one of these lights and setups cost?
Now the little LED fixture things, I bought 48 of them for about $200. So that means they're about $4 each. So each one of those, so that means this whole setup right here is $16. And then the fluorescent part of the fixture, I think I got those for $2 each. So that means just, yeah, less than $20 for this fixture. Good to go! So rig up several of those, because unless you're trying to like, oh, I only want to grow one set of plants, come on. It's good for 4 trays of plants, because it happens that these plant trays are like the wrong size, so they don't happen to match up exactly to 48 inches. Yeah, I guess that's the way some plant guys thought. They thought wrong. They should have made it 48 inches, but no, they made it about 11 inches each. So it's about 44 inches. So you waste a little bit on each end, but you know, that's the way it is. So you build yourself some shelves like this, build some of these things for $20 each, grow some plants. Thank you.